Ramadan is over and Muslim faithful are still basking in the euphoria of the Eid celebration. So on today's Sunday magazine program, we'll be bringing you a mixed grill of entertainment and some touch of Salah celebration in the FCT, plus messages from the pulpits. And not forgetting highlights of the stories that made headlines in the past week with Frama Panyi. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned as Sunday Magazine continues shortly. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Thanks for staying tuned, and let's begin with messages from the pulpits. Christians have been encouraged to promote peace and have a positive influence on their faith in their homes, communities, and globally. Methodist Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Michael Akinwale, said this during a special Thanksgiving service to mark the end of the 2023 Church Synod. Yours truly also visited the Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Church, Abuja District Headquarters. Congregants converged on the Methodist Cathedral of Unity, Wuse, in thanksgiving for a successful 29th Synod with the theme, Contending for the Faith.
The church must continue to preach uprightness, righteousness, holiness, and also bringing a situation in which the family will continue to be united.
Archbishop Akinwale stood for peace and appealed to all citizens to come together and work towards the advancement of the nation.
Our prayer is that this nation, Nigeria, will not disintegrate. Every nation thrives in peace.
It was also a day of thanksgiving at the Cherubim and Seraphim Movement Church, Abuja District Headquarters, as the church gathered to thank God for His grace and blessings, particularly for sparing the life of a member.
A major surgical operation was done on me, and doctor says 50-50 chance. But the Lord is a God of perfection, and I always said, I will live, I will not die.
According to Senior Special Apostle Funsho Oshoro, Nigeria has been fortunate to receive God's blessings, and therefore her citizens have ample reason to express gratitude.
My prayer to once more to this country is that let us continue to pray to God, and God will do what anybody cannot do.
Prayers were specifically dedicated to asking for the country's unity and stability. And to health, Nasarawa State University KEFI has deepened access to health insurance for staff and students through domestication of Nasarawa State Health Insurance Scheme. Deputy Governor Emmanuel Akabe, while flagging off the scheme, assured that the state government will remain committed to providing quality healthcare services to residents. Christy Ayagwa reports.
Insurance agency NASHIA is a mandatory health insurance program designed to ensure universal health coverage in the state. Flagging off the NASHIA services at the Nasarawa State University KEFI, Deputy Governor Emmanuel Akabe noted that the scheme will benefit the people of Nasarawa State as they will have access to quality health care service.
I make sure that I support him, and at the same time he supports us in the state, because we must lead, we must continue to lead.
Executive Secretary NASHIA, Dr. Gomna Dogara, explains that the provision of free health care for residents is an integral part of the agency's strategies to attain universal health coverage in this state, noting that the program aligns with the new National Health Insurance Act, which makes health insurance mandatory in Nigeria.
The current administration have a neat document that speaks to economic prosperity of Nasarawa State, and in addressing that, it's trying to see how to take away out-of-pocket payment for healthcare services, and that is what we are already doing. And what we are doing today is still adding numbers to the numbers we've already gained.
The Vice Chancellor, Nasarawa State University KEFI, Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed, appreciates the governor for demonstrating an uncommon commitment to the improvements of health and well-being of the people. and disclosed that the university's health facility has the potential of rendering both primary and secondary health care services.
In its effort to ensure the successful kickoff of this scheme, the university has been able to remit the sum of 11,930,000 to the agency as capitation, while providing drugs, laboratory and other hospital consumables.
Books are reservoirs of knowledge which exposes one to the world, both imaginary and real, that one is unable to traverse in lifetime. While books inform, entertain, thrill and captivate readers, the protection of authors' rights is, however, vital. Hadiza Godwin-Ebuni in this report will take us through some of the interesting facts about World Book Day.
Every year, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, invites the international community to celebrate World Book and Copyright Day in April. The World Book and Copyright Day, also known as International Day of the Book, recognizes books as a link between the past and the future, a bridge between generations and across culture, which calls for celebration. On this day, UNESCO recognizes the various stakeholders that make up book sector: authors, publishers, booksellers, and libraries. In all of these, governments and private bodies in Nigeria have taken numerous steps to promote reading culture and also protect copyright laws in the country.
We bring in publishers, reputable publishers, whereby you get the originals, not pirated books. So students and parents and teachers are encouraged to come to the book fair ERS that we organize every year, whereby they get the right book at a subsidized price, at the right price, because you are purchasing directly from publisher and you are also sure of the right book you are purchasing.
2023 World Book and Copyright Day with the theme Indigenous Languages is expected to highlight the rich cultural heritage and the importance of native languages in literature and storytelling. These steps, stakeholders in the education sector believe it will improve understanding in learning.
Sometimes you need to filter. It's not everything you see in a book that is maybe too necessary for you to use. Sometimes you need to filter, you need to pick the main points, and as you do that, it helps you build up your own reading abilities compared to the electronics the e-books.
It is interesting to note that a copyright law protects the original work of the creator or author, and if the creator fails to comply with any legal formality or when the right expires, it becomes a public domain. The duration of copyright is, however, 70 years after the death of the author.
And now to Salah celebration in the FCT. The atmosphere in Gwagwa during the Salah celebration was that of excitement and joy that go with ending Ramadan fast among Muslim faithfuls, particularly in the rural community. Charity Zakah brings us sights and sounds of Gwagwa during the Eid al-Fitr.
Many of the Muslim faithful in Gwagwa registered their presence at Gwagwa Bridge Eid prayer ground to perform the 2-rakat prayer. Shortly after spiritual exercise, they retreated home to begin activities that go with merriment. Some paid homage to traditional ruler. Some residents speak on the need to sustain the peace and happiness the occasion brings.
Without peace, there is no progress. Without peace, there is no achievement. And indeed, we are saying that the whole Nigerians should embrace peace for us to forge ahead.
Inshallah, Allah's message is for this fitri for all of us to uplift ourselves, extend us to the needy, let the richest come down to the level of the needy ones.
Inshallah, we pray to Almighty Allah to make us, inshallah, to witness the next of coming Ramadan.
Yours truly left the Gwagwa celebrants basking in the euphoria of celebration, more so with a long holiday declared by the federal government to enable people share a moment of joy with loved ones.
In the meantime, Nigerians have been advised to actively participate and avail themselves for the forthcoming census exercise as a major contribution to national development. The Sape of Garki, Usman Ngakopi, gave the advice when he played host to traditional heads in the FCT while on Salah homage at his palace. Cecilia Julius brings us more.
Traditional leaders from across the FCT converged on the palace of the Sape of Gariki to pay homage in commemoration of this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration. Of important discourse is the trending topical issue, the 2023 population and housing census.
By 3rd May to 7 May, there's going to be a national census. That's population counted with census. So everybody should come out to participate, to make sure he's being counted or she's being counted. Both our houses and individually. So nobody should harass either the staff or the people who are come to stay with us here. Because something is very important to nation buildings. Our leaders and those who have the means, the bourgeoisie, I want to draw their attention to, please, instead of hiding their resources, fund, please let them bring out their resources and establish farming, commercial farming, and sometimes also establish both cottage and commercial industries, whereby the youth will be gainfully employed. This is the only way we'll be able to address the problem of security.
Youths were also advised to take up the challenge of improving on their skills for self-reliance rather than toe the line of crime.
Let's come together, leave all of these acts that we are not known for, because it's giving us a bad name. You understand? So if we are able to come back home, pour out our grievances if it has to do with unemployment, what government is not doing well, dialogue like he has made known, talk to the government. There are different mediums of communication to government where the government can easily hear, but violence cannot give us peace.
Traditional musicals spiced up the day with beautiful baggy display and dance steps.
And no festivity is complete without having its side attraction. Deborah Gazaji Maika, who was at a zoo, captured some residents of the FCT having Salah fun.
Asking the people what kind of fun they're likely going to have by visiting the zoo on the Salah day. This is what they have to say.
I was very scared. I couldn't move close to the lion, but it's quite an interesting experience.
Came out to look around. The children have been looking forward to a time we can come and see animals in the zoo. And the Salah has given us that opportunity.
For some, it is Salah picnic, while for others, it is birthday anniversary fun and family get together away from home.
I'm enjoying Park and Zoo because of I had some fun on the playground, also with my friends.
Itchy, because I can actually feel the bones, and I really like it.
I've really had so much fun with the children. They've had the horse ride and so many other games.
Interacting with some of the fun seekers on how it is like visiting the zoo during Salah festival. Some respondents who are visiting a zoo for the first time have this to say.
For the first time I'm seeing a hyena. That's really exciting.
Yes, Salah has been amazing. With all the whole difficulty we faced, at least we've overcome it, the fasting and everything. So we're out here having fun with the kids. And it's a wonderful celebration.
I love the mom. I feel cool.
They all wish this rare opportunity comes their way every season.
Ya za ku ji idan aka waye gari babu kasar nan sai hargitsi, zub da jini da kuma yaki a cikin kasar. Ina dole ne mu tashi tsaye don kare kasar mu. mu koyi warware matsalolinmu ta hanyar tattaunawa, mu taimaka wa jami'an tsaronmu don ganin kasarmu ta kasance a dunkule, dukkanmu ɗaya ne. Mu jinjina wa gwamnatin tarayya don kokarin da take yi don ganin mun kasance kasa ɗaya, al'umma ɗaya. Najeriya kasa ta ce, kasar ku ce, kuma kasar mu ce. Mu dage don ganin mun kasance kasa ɗaya, al'umma ɗaya. Kasancewar mu kasa ɗaya shine zai jawo kwanciyar hankali da kuma abin sha'awa ga duniya. Mu guji abin da zai jawo zubar da jini, yaki da kuma tashin hankali a Najeriya. Kwanciyar hankalinmu shine ci gaban tattalin arzikin Najeriya.
Ɗauka hoto ka nuna asuwa zai zo.
Yau dai ga Balarabe.
Balarabe! Ga wannan abin da Balarabe! Menene? Bidiyo ne ai, na bidiyo! Na washe bidiyo ne.
Ya sami kyautar garabasar Global Rakete. Sai ko ya fara amfani da social media da bai san kansa ba cikin farin ciki. Browsing yake, yana ta tattauna da jama'a, yana saka hotunan kayayyakinsa na kasuwanci gatsau. Ya tafka kuskure don ko ya saka hoton matarsa haɗe da kayayyakinsa na kasuwanci yana tallata a social media.
Na too much Berekete kosa.
Berekete, samu kyautar naira 600 na lokacin kira tare da garabasan kashi 700 akan duk caji da kuma har kashi 100 na duk tsarin data da kake akai.
You're welcome back. And still in the spirit of the Eid al-Fitr celebration, special dance steps by a Hausa troupe were on display at the Wazobia Waru community. Rosemary Bilal, who witnessed the celebration, tells us more.
Dance steps by this group of Hausa extraction attract people of diverse ethnic groups who gather at Wazobia Waru in the spirit of Eid al-Fitr celebration. They are from different locations, but with one goal: to celebrate. Members of the group say their joy knows no bound as the celebration offers them opportunity to showcase their God-given talents.
As we are practicing it, one day we will become somebody in future. That is it. And this is a place that you can meet people and talk to, have your peace back.
We are happy. Today is a Saturday. That is why we invited people to come to see how we are happy.
Drama, acrobatics, among other performances also featured. This troupe has been entertaining residents of Waru at times like this for the past 5 years.
And from Apanyi, standing by with the events of the past week.
Welcome to another edition of Weekly News Wrap. And as you know, we will be bringing you stories that made headlines in the course of last week. Last week, the moon was sighted, which signified the end of Ramadan, and Muslims world over marked the Eid al-Fitr. President Muhammadu Buhari wasn't left out, as he was amongst worshippers at the Mambila Barracks Eid Ground, Abuja, where he reassured the nation that nothing will stop the May 29 handover date to the next administration. And in the spirit of Eid al-Fitr celebrations, President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to a broad spectrum of the FCT community on traditional Salah homage. The president used the opportunity to reflect on his stewardship and ask for forgiveness from Nigerians that may have been affected by his administration's decisions. Still reviewing the past week, management of security agencies in the FCT said they are not leaving anything to chance security-wise in the build-up to the Eid al-Fitr festivities. They spoke in view of the recent resurgence of protest activities of members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria. Now, the Abuja Municipal Area Council AMAC Task Force on Revenue Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement arrested 13 revenue collectors allegedly operating illegally within the area council. The 13 suspects, most of them youth, aged between 25 and 40 years, were arrested from different parts of the council area during a sting operation led by the chairman of the task force, Amadou Yunusa Yusuf. Yusuf said that it is illegal for any taxpayer to pay cash to anyone parading himself as AMAC representative or any account other than that of the area council. The suspects will be arraigned before the mobile court and prosecuted according to the team leader. Now, a one-day capacity building workshop aimed at equipping participants with the requisite information for the conduct of this year's population and housing census held. The workshop is at instance of the National Population Commission, FCT. Similarly, still reviewing the past week, religious and traditional rulers in Abuja Municipal Area Council were tasked to ensure a hitch-free 2023 census come May. This was at a one-day interactive session at the AMAC Secretariat in Abuja. Also last week, the FCT administration said it had perfected plans to commence prosecution of illegal estate developers at the FCT Urban and Regional Tribunal and other anti-graft agencies. Director Development Control Department Mukhtar Galagdima disclosed this when he led officials to demolish contravening structures in Kukwaba district of Abuja. Meanwhile, makeshift shops encroaching on road corridors and power installations within Kubwa and Dede communities in Buhari Area Council of the FCT were demolished. And that's our package for you this week on the program. Don't go away. Sunday Magazine continues in a moment.
Up next is Sports Brief.
Five-time world champions Nigeria are scheduled to arrive in the Algerian city of Constantine on Sunday night for their final preparations for this year's Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations, following complications that arose in the process of securing entry visa into Germany for a planned final training camp. In that country, the Nigerian Football Federation opted to send the squad earlier to Algeria for the final build-up, and Constantine, a renowned city, is the choice. The words of FIFA Cadet World Cup winning captain Nduka Ogbade swept all before them to win the Wafubi Under-17 Championship in Cape Coast, Ghana 10 months ago, and have put on a display tremendous firepower in their preparations for the Continental Showpiece. Nigeria will launch a campaign for honors at the 12th Team Continental Championship on Sunday next week. They will then take on Morocco and South Africa in other matches in Group B. Meanwhile, it will be a defining month of activity starting this week for the Nationwide League One, as its secretariat has put all in place for the kickoff of the 2023 season. The NLO is the nation's third-tier domestic league with more than 300 teams and academics battling it out. The secretariat unveiled a two-week program that will define the smooth commencement of the season. According to its media channel, the NLO will hold a press briefing on Wednesday, 26 April at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Surulere, Lagos, where it will address the media of activities lined up for the year and the unveiling of its new sponsors, the biggest of them a telecommunication giant, in May.
And the body of late Lawrence Ogunleye, father of the FCT Director of Press, Anthony Ogunleye, has been laid to rest in his country home, Ijuri Ekiti, in Ijeru local government area of Ekiti State. Onoze Yakubu brings us details.
Death is inevitable, hence the need for all mortals to live a modest life. Many describe late Papa Ogunleye as a man of honor whose contribution to the development of the community is remarkable. In another development, the Ojuri of Ijuri Ekiti, Obayokin Afolabi, eulogized late Pa Ogunleye, describing him as a God-fearing person. The chief mourner, Ogule, led officials of the FCT administration on a courtesy visit to his palace.
Let the peace, let the unity, let the love that coexists among you continue.
Responding, Antonio Ogule described his late father as a committed Christian and a teacher.
The only way we can emulate him and honor him really is to live our lives the way he has lived his own.
Late Lawrence Fele Ogule left behind his wife Margaret, 5 children and 11 grandchildren.
And with that, we conclude Sunday Magazine for tonight. We thank you for being part of our production. Let's do this again same time next week. Until then, please stay safe and be vigilant.